in our lives we expect, both on an outer level and an inner level, that we're just going to keep producing, keep achieving, keep attaining. And if I'm on a spiritual path, I'm just going to keep getting higher and higher and higher in a constant trajectory up. But nature doesn't move like that. There are rainy days, sometimes from the sky, sometimes from our eyes. There are sunny days, there are so many different seasons. Now we may have a preference. We may love summer and hate winter, or vice versa. But nature doesn't care. Nature doesn't say, oh, you don't like winter? Oh, no problem, we'll just skip it this year. Oh, is it too hot for you? Oh, so sorry, let me bring you some snow in July. We'll take care of that heat right away. Nature doesn't care. It's just the nature of nature. It's hot when it's hot, and it's cold when it's cold, and it rains in the rainy season, and it's dry in the dry season. And we were able to accept that. And again, sure, we may have preferences, but most of us don't really expect the weather to do our bidding, and that if we stand outside thrashing our fist at the clouds, that they're actually going to go away. But within us, over the seasons of our lives, we're much less compassionate and accepting. And if we've had very productive seasons of our lives, fruitful, literally, seasons of our lives, we're not very compassionate when that season shifts. And in the same way, when we have a day, maybe it's a memory, maybe it's an anniversary, maybe any one of 1,000 things happened that day, and it throws us off. But here's what's beautiful, is our spiritual path gives us the tools back. And so sure, we may find ourselves off a little bit, but we're able to bring ourselves back. So it's like, for example, if you find that you've got a really weak immune system, and you're getting a cold every month or so, and then you get onto a good health regime. Maybe you start some naturopathy program or Ayurveda program, some really good systemic strengthening program, not just pills for symptoms, but something really that strengthens your body and improves your immune system. Well, it doesn't mean that you're never going to catch a cold. But what it means is that when you do, or if you happen to be around somebody who's sneezing and coughing and you feel that little tickle in the back of your throat the next day, that two things are there. Number one, you've developed a strong enough internal immune system that chances are you're not going to get as sick as you would have gotten before. But also that you now have tools to help you bounce back quicker than you used to. So where maybe before all you had were over-the-counter chemical symptom alleviators, but now you actually have a whole treasure chest of natural healing remedies, of ways to bring the system back into balance. So you actually are able to come back into balance quicker. And the same thing is true emotionally. That emotional resilience, that emotional immune system, you could say. Again, it doesn't mean that we don't have moments that are weepy, or moments that we're frustrated, or moments that we're not as grounded as we'd like to be. But A, they're fewer and farther between. B, they're shorter lasting. And C, we have tools. We know what works. We've got a whole treasure chest of our meditation, our japa, our seva, our programs, whatever it may be. Maybe it's art, maybe it's music, maybe it's writing, maybe it's poetry, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's gardening. Who knows what it is? But we've developed, through our spiritual practice, we've developed a tool chest. An immune boosting, emotional immune boosting tool chest. So, okay, weepy day. What tools do I have? Well, first of all, there's nothing really wrong with a weepy day. Maybe for whatever reason, that's just what the day is supposed to be. You loved. And when the one we love is no longer in our physical plane of existence, it makes us weep. Nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. It means we've loved. So tears in and of themselves are not bad. Nothing wrong with tears. But if there's distress, if there's a sense of I no longer want to feel like this, well, I have a toolbox. I know what to do to help reground myself. It's like, it's a rainy day. Well, all right, once I've lived through enough rainy days, I understand the concept of this great thing called an umbrella. And so it doesn't mean that I don't go out, it doesn't mean I don't live, but it means that I now understand, okay, today's going to be a rainy day. I have a toolbox, and that toolbox has got an umbrella in it, and I'm going to be sure to grab it on my way out the door. And on the emotionally difficult times, we have toolboxes. Our spiritual connection, our connection with the community, our service. Again, so many other different ways of connecting to ourselves, to the universe, to God that we have. And we use them to remind us that A, even though that person is no longer with us, we're not alone. B, to remind us that that love that we experience for that person is actually still there. Even though that person isn't there, the love still is there, and we're able to ground ourselves in the love. And lastly, we're able to realize that even though they're not here physically, their soul, their spirit, their essence is here. And so we're able to just be with them in joy. Yeah. One of the beautiful practices is just awareness. Rather than judgment, rather than why is it like this. Just, okay. Weepy day. Like we look out the window and we say, okay, rainy day. Not, what can I do to make that damn rain stop? Again, we know, nothing. Nothing I can do to make the rain stop. And we know that. So we look out the window, we say, rainy day. Or, sunny day. Or, snowy day. Oh, my apple tree's giving apples. Oh, my apple tree's not giving apples. Okay, again, screaming at it isn't going to change that. Can't scare the apple tree into producing apples in the wintertime. So that same level of just awareness that we have for the natural world, can we have it for ourselves? All right. Weepy day. Okay. So be it. Without judgment, without labeling, without wishing it to be something different.